Welcome to Centinela de Cristo.
Blessings. This is Pastor Luis Luciano from Oklahoma. Sunday, August 24th. The Code of the Covenant. At Sinai, with the giving of His law, God set the foundation for teaching His people how, through connection with Him, they could live holy lives. But the principles of the law needed to be applied in everyday life. So God gave them additional laws, the so-called Code of the Covenant. It was the responsibility of judges to watch over these laws and to apply them correctly. The minds of the people, blinded and debased by slavery and heathenism, were not prepared to appreciate fully the far-reaching principles of God's 10 precepts. That the obligations of the Decalogue might be more fully understood and enforced, additional precepts were given, illustrating and applying the principles of the 10 Commandments. These laws were called judgments, both because they were framed in infinite wisdom and equity, and because the magistrates were to give judgment according to them. Unlike the 10 Commandments, they were delivered privately to Moses, who was to communicate them to the people. Ellen G. White, in the book Patriarchs and Prophets, page 310. Read Exodus chapter 21, verse 1 to 32. What specific regulations were given regarding Hebrew slaves, homicide, and bodily injuries? The Code of the Covenant is described in several chapters. Exodus chapter 21, verse 1, all the way to chapter 23, verse 19. All these regulations and laws were issued to stop the avalanche of evil and to build an orderly society. The slavery laws were special and should not be confused with the vicious and evil practice of modern or medieval slavery. Hebrew slaves were, in fact, protected and valued. In modern and medieval societies, servants and slaves were the property of their owners, who could do whatever they wished with them. In contrast, biblical laws regulated things differently. Servitude was limited to 6 years. Exodus chapter 21, verse 1 and 2. Jeremiah chapter 34, verse 8 to 22. And in the 7th year, all slaves had to be liberated unless they wanted to stay with their master. Masters also had to give them Sabbaths off. Exodus chapter 20, verse 9 and 10. And provide for their basic needs. Though in most of the world, the evil practice of institutionalized slavery has for the most part been abolished, what are ways in which some of the principles of it still exist? And what can we do in our own limited sphere to fight against these principles?